Pregame.com.
Good evening and welcome to Pregame.tv. I am Brady Kannon alongside Vegas Runner. We are back for another week of videos. We're going to be talking World Series, of course, college football, and a little NFL as well. Our regular partner and host, Steve Fezzik, is out this week with laryngitis, unfortunately. Can you believe that? The man can't talk, huh?
Imagine.
And that may be a bonus for some of you, but that's another story. Anyway, we're going to get right to it, and we want to talk World Series. Of course, the Boston Red Sox go back home up 3-2. They were the favorite initially in this World Series, and they are favored again Wednesday night at Fenway Park. VR, what are you thinking?
Listen, personally, the way I handicap baseball, besides creating a little model of runs scored, runs allowed, and then compare it to what the line is, I like to get into the ebb and flow of series during the regular season and then in the playoffs and the World Series. I think it's so hard to cap every single matchup in baseball every single day. So what I try to do is isolate 3 or 4 series and focus on them, because you're going to be betting the same games for 3 or 4 days sometimes. It makes it a lot easier. Playoffs come, you know you're going to be capping those 2 teams for 5, 7 games. It makes it a lot easier. And I like to get into that ebb and flow. Unfortunately, in the World Series, I haven't been able to do that this year, because this is a World Series where the sequence of wins and losses has only happened 3 other times.
Wow.
Yeah, where, you know, the home team wins game 1, loses game 2, loses game 3, wins game 4, wins game 5 on the road. That sequence of wins and losses only happened 3 times.
And probably because of that, it's been a great watch.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we've had some crazy finishes, of course, the obstruction, the pickoff play. It's really been a good series to watch. And from the beginning, I handicapped it as I had Sox in 7.
Okay.
And I figured they were going to split the first 2 games. And so I played Boston to win game 1. I won that one. I said, well, you know, I'm going to go by what I thought was going to happen, so I got to play the Cardinals in game 2. We won that one, and I have gotten into that ebb and flow like you've talked about, and I even made the call last night on the Red Sox and the under. So
where you just see, if this happens today, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow.
Yeah,
and if the line shows value, then you make your play. Me and RJ touched on that this week in first preview. As far as I was saying, no series has done this. The 3 that have, believe it or not, the team up 3-2, like Boston is, actually lost game 6 all 3 times.
Well,
but they went on to win the World Series. They won game 7 2 of 3 times.
That plays perfectly into my scenario.
And if you forget the sequence of wins and losses, and you just say where the game's being played, you know, that the final 2 games are being played in Boston. This scenario where the team goes back home up 3-2, believe it or not, in game 6, they're only 11-11.
Wow.
In game 6. So, I mean, it's not, probability tells you they're going 7 games. And with Waco on the mound, I lean St. Louis right now.
Should we make it official?
Give it to him. Give it to him.
World Series Game 6 at Fenway Park. My pick is going to be the St. Louis Cardinals at +110, the underdog in the game. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I picked the Red Sox to win in 7 games, and that means the Cardinals are going to have to win in Game 6. We've got John Lackey facing off against Michael Wacha, the rookie. Wacha has been outstanding, unflappable in the postseason, 4-0 with a 1.0 ERA. Lackey, meanwhile, he loses Game 2 where he gave up 5 hits in 6 1/3 and 3 runs. He's 5-6 in his last 11 starts, and this year in the regular season he was 10-13. So I think Lackey is beatable. Wacha so far has not been. I think the Cardinals are not going to go into Fenway Park and lose their 3rd game in a row. I think it's a good spot for this team that has proven to be resilient all year long. Now, on the other side for the Red Sox, Big Papi's carrying him. I think the Cardinals will finally wise up and not pitch to him. The rest of the team's batting about $1.50. I'm going to take the Cardinals in Game 6 at Fenway Park, +110. So we're going with the Cardinals in Game 6, and that means we'll have a Game 7, which is probably what everybody wants.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. And you know what? I think this is a rematch of Game 2. And I think we're more or less going to see the same scenario. I think Wacha has proven this kid's a future Cy Young winner.
Great.
When you've allowed only 3 earned runs in 26 innings, 4 playoff games as pretty much a rookie, to me, I think he'll be able to handle this pressure. I think it's better that it's on the road than at home.
I agree.
I really do.
Yeah, because they lost 2 in a row at home, and that almost puts more pressure on them if they were to have to.
If they had to win that game at home,
now they can get away, regroup.
They're not expected to win.
Absolutely.
They're not expected to win the World Series. The
I like
pressure's
how it
off
sets
them.
up for them.
The pressure's on Boston now. They have to close it out.
I agree.
For St. Louis,
because they don't want to go to a 7th.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For St. Louis, this is a free roll. Like, we got one more game to try to take it to a Game 7.
Exactly. Hey, let's get this one and then see what happens tomorrow night.
Everything will be on Game 6 for them. I like it.
Gonna be fun. All right, well, we're going to try and root home the Cardinals. We'll be back with more videos. We're going to talk some college football with Vegas Runner. We also have some NFL to cover. Stay tuned. It's pregame.tv.